it again. All right, so the next exercise is going to be a barbell squat. In this particular exercise, I'm going to show two variations of it. One without a half roller, the other one with the half roller. These are half rollers, all right? There's different kinds. I have the small one because it's more portable, but they do have ones that's just one together like this. So the purpose of the half rollers is when we use the half rollers, especially when we're doing a squat, we want to put our heels on top of the half rollers, and this is going to help manipulate the hips to do an anterior tilt. So because the whole point of having that tilt is so when we do that squat, our back is nice and straight and nice and strong, and we're putting all the weight into our heels. Like I said in the beginning of the video, we're not toe dominant people, we're heel dominant. So when we're doing a squat, you want to put all the weight, all the pressure onto the heels, and then use your glutes, because your glutes is the biggest muscle in the body. That's why it's called gluteus maximus. It's the biggest muscle in the body. So you want to do proper glute engagement to lift this bar up, you know, not putting the weight and shifting all the weight to the knees and then letting your knees and your joints pick up that weight. No, you know, you want to use your heels, and that's how we do a proper squat. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you the proper squat. I'm going to do 45 on each side, and I'm going to do 20. Like I said, I don't ego lift. I don't lift super heavy, you know, just time under tension, high reps, you know. Also, use clips when you're doing your squats, you know, so because sometimes when we squat, sometimes we shift weights, you know, because we're trying to find that balance, we're trying to keep everything stable. So the last thing you want is the weight shifting and moving from the bar. So putting the clips is going to keep the weights to the bar and not let it to shift and move, and it's safety, you know, safety first. So when doing the squat, make sure the bar is resting right on, not on your neck. Don't have the bar resting on your neck. You want it to rest on the shoulders. And then when you do the squat, keep your chest up, squat down just like that, and back up. 20 times. All right, so I'm going to take a break, and then I'm going to show the other variation with the half rollers. All right, so now we're going to use the half roller. So the half roller is going to be used as a corrective. So if you're more toe dominant when you're squatting, if you're squatting and you notice that you go forward and then you shift up, or some people, what they do is they'll stay forward and it's like they're thrusting upwards, then you want to use these, all right? Because you're just putting pressure on your knees. So I place the rollers about shoulder distance apart. And then, like I said, I put my heels on top. So as you can see, I already have that anterior tilt. So now, while I'm doing the exercise, as you can see, boom, there you go, perfect squat. And then you just do that 20 times. And the best thing about this exercise is that when you have your heels on top, and when you're doing this, you're actually engaging the glutes to work properly, and then you're working on that form, so you're working on good form. You're practicing, you're teaching and practicing your body to strengthen itself. So then once you're strong enough that you don't need it, then you take those foam rollers out of the equation, and then you progress into the normal squat, and then you'll be able to do it normally in the same position. So that's why if you ever went to the gym, some people use half rollers, some people use plates, and you might see that sometimes. You see some people putting plates while they're lifting, doing deadlifts or squats. This is the whole reason why. That's the purpose behind it. So to wrap it up, if your posterior chain is really tight, if your hip flexors are tight and you're doing wrong form, please use the half rollers. Purchase it on Amazon or something like that, Sports Authority. If not, if you can't get your hands on the foam roller, you can always use a plate and then do the same thing and work the same way. All right, so the next exercise we're going to do is barbell walking lunges. It's actually one of my favorite exercises because it burns a lot of calories. You'll definitely feel it in your heart. Your heart will be racing when you do this exercise. And it targets all the muscles in the body. It targets the quads, the hamstrings, the glutes, helps with core engagement, helps with strengthening the lower back, So it's just overall, it's just a great exercise to do. I definitely see a lot of results when I do this particular exercise. So I'm just going to show you guys how to do it. I do somewhere between 20 to 30 steps. So I want to go 10 steps this way and then 10 steps back. All right, so the next exercise we're going to do is a hex bar deadlift. We're going to do about 30 reps, and this is a lot different than an actual barbell deadlift. Now, the reason I like using the hex bar, especially for this particular program, like I said before, I want to add in correctives into leg workout routines because I see a lot of people do things wrong, just they're not using proper form. So what I do with clients when we're practicing the deadlift is first I start them off with either a hex bar or dumbbells. Now, using the hex bar is when you use the hex bar, you're actually you're holding it to the side, right? So when we use a regular barbell, we pull from the front. And what usually happens is when we use a regular barbell, this is what I see. I see someone using a barbell and doing that. As you saw, I had a curvature in my back. Now, it's hard to train someone who's to do a proper deadlift like that with the barbell front, because all the weight is from the front. Now, what I'm doing with the hex bar is having the weight holding it to the side is easier to tell the client or for yourself to retract the scapula's back, rolling the shoulders back, keeping a strong chest, and then pushing the butt out, having that anterior tilt in the hips. So when doing this exercise, for example, with the hex bar, see how much easier it is to retract the scapula back and then go down. So this is why I use the hex bar. Now, if there's still curvature in the back, in the next video, I'm going to show how to use the half rollers again as a corrective to help with also the hips. Because sometimes it's both issues. Sometimes it's hard to push the chest up. Sometimes it's hard to have that anterior tilt in the hip flexors because everything's really tight, you know. So to train our bodies to actually get that full range of motion and actually practice corrective posture, you know, we can use a hex bar to help with the chest, to retract the scapula's back so we have a strong chest, and then we can use a foam roller to actually help with anterior tilt. But for today, for this video, we're just going to use a hex bar, and in the next one, I'll show you how to use the hex bar with the half roller. So like I said, 30 reps. Alright, so now this time I have the half rollers on the ground. So you want to have the half rollers about shoulder distance apart, and then you want to put your toes on top for the deadlift. Because now when you have your toes on top and you're doing your deadlift, this is going to help with that posterior tilt already in the hips, and then it's a great way to strengthen that. Alright, so we have a nice strong back, nice straight and strong back. So toes on top. Just like that. So now, as you saw, using the half roller, it actually helps with proper glute engagement. And then what I'm going to do to superset this exercise is an active stretch. So the active stretch is really good because sometimes when we use the half rollers, right, what happens is that by manipulating the body to be in the proper position, we also help the muscle get proper activation, proper, like especially for the glutes, proper glute engagement. So now we're recruiting more muscle units that haven't been recruited because we've been using bad posture. So you'll notice by doing the correctives in the exercises, your like hamstrings, your glutes is going to be sore the next day, you know? So this is why I said don't lift heavy. Use light weights, practice on that corrective form, and now you're going to start recruiting proper motor units, right? And it's like training a new muscle that hasn't been trained in a long time because of the bad posture. Now, like I said, because of the improper glute engagement, now what we want to do is an active stretch within our rest time. So what I like to do, especially for people that has lower back issues, you know, and their posterior chain is all tight, is a half roller with a good morning. So now, you just get a pole, just like that, like this, put your toes on top, and then go down and hold that stretch. Now, when you hold the stretch, hold it for 2 to 3 seconds, back up and squeeze the glutes. All right, and then come back down. Back up, and then do it about like 10 times. This is it's a great exercise to do because now we're opening our posterior chain because it's already tight. We're not doing proper engagement of the muscles, so you want to do this. You want to do this so we can get the benefits of both worlds, and then we can fix our posture. Because over time, you know, if we continue to have like the foam roller and doing like active stretching in between our breaks, this is going to help us not open us up, but also do things correctly. So in the squat jump, you want to perform it. Go all the way down in the squat position. Jump up. Now, if you notice, when I was doing my squat jumps, I went into the proper squat form, jump all the way up, and the most important part was the landing. How I landed was from toe to heel, back into the squat position, and then shoot back up. Now, you don't want to do this. Go down, jump up, like that. You don't want to jump on your toes because this is a weight-loaded exercise. So it's not like we're doing it by ourselves or we're jump roping, you know, and jump roping and stuff like that. That's fine because we don't have weights on our back. But once you put in weights, you know, and that resistance, you know, you don't want to be landing on your toes. You're putting too much stress on the knees, too much stress on tendons and ligaments and stuff like that. So to play it safe, remember, landing toe to heel. So we're going to do about 10 to 15. Lightweight. I'm only using 50 pounds. All right, so the last final exercise is a lateral shuffle with a super band and also a Viper. Now, how we do this is, now with the super bands, there's different colors means different resistance, you know, and you know, there's so many different colors out there that I'm not even going to go into it. But this red one is like a medium resistant band, so I'm going to put this around my ankles. Pretty difficult. All right, so now I want to use the Viper, and this is going to be in the front-loaded position. And if you don't have a Viper, you can always use a barbell or a dumbbell. As long as it's in front of you, you want to squat down and then stay in that position the whole time. Now I'm going to do about 15 to 20 steps side to side, and it's totally up to you how you want to do it. And this exercise is really great because, hold on, it allows that muscle to stay engaged the whole entire time. It's a static hold. So by doing that, time under tension, the same thing applies, you know? And then that's it. And just do this about 15-20 reps, 4 sets, about a minute break. All right, so thank you for watching my video. If you liked everything, please subscribe below and like. Please make any type of comments that you like. I really appreciate the feedback. But that's my typical leg workout. I try to fit in as much as possible in such a small period of time. I don't want to make the video dragging or super extremely long, but I try adding in some correctives because this is one thing that I see all the time when I come into the gyms. This is what I actually encounter with a lot of clients, because the hip flexors and posterior chain is usually very tight for a lot of individuals. So by adding in those correctives, and also like the stretches and stuff like that, these will actually help with range of motion and actually doing proper form. So that's it. I hope everyone enjoyed the video, and that's it. All right, so have a great day and see you later.